coach of the Oakland Raiders, Jack Del Rio, back on the Rich Eisen Show. Coach, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
You bet, Rich.
So I know you don't have that sort of ability to, like Papa, to give that Raiders, but you were definitely pumping your fist for that moment. What was that like for your first win of a coach of a team that you essentially grew up watching, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of emotions there, but just really proud of our guys, the way they fought all day. The grit, the determination, the resilience. It was exceptional, and I thought it was a great moment for our football team. It's such a big win against a really quality opponent at home here in a hard-fought game.
Yeah, and you were saying fighting all day. What about all week? It's coming off of that season opening loss with a young team and perhaps making sure that they're not getting too down, that it is a marathon and not a sprint in their mind. What about the week's worth of preparation for that, Coach?
Yeah, we've got some experience on our coaching staff. I made sure to make the point that it's one game, win or lose, and just like we've done this week, it's with a great win, and people want to pat us on the back. We're on to next. We're on to the preparation, getting ready for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and in terms of that, it's an obvious question, but I sometimes don't like to ask those, but I will anyway. The news that Josh McCown has been announced as the starter for the Cleveland Browns. How does that change things for you with Manziel and now obviously McCown going against your defense this weekend?
It really doesn't change anything in terms of our preparation. We know that they both are capable of playing. We know they both are good quarterbacks. They both have different styles, and we're preparing for their football team. And obviously, knowing both guys that could enter the game is part of the preparation.
So you definitely think that there could be a Manziel package lurking somewhere in Cleveland?
No, I didn't say that. I said
okay.
We'll be prepared for either player, and that's look, no matter what, you've got to know what's going on with the backup. Sometimes the starters go down, as we found in Week 1 when our starter went down.
That's right. Jack Del Rio joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Derek Carr and his development. You've got yourself a thoroughbred, everybody believes, and you could see it with your own two eyes as well. What about his development? How do you handle a young quarterback like him, Coach?
Well, the best thing that we did last week is just relax and play, and I thought the offensive line did a great job of protecting Derek. I mean, he really was untouched most of the day, and I thought he really, exhibited poise and great leadership, command of the offense, and took us down in the key moment at the end. But he was taking us down throughout the day. I mean, really an outstanding performance by Derek and the supporting cast around him.
Jack Del Rio here on the program. Defensively, you signing Aldon Smith on the eve of the season, essentially. Was Michael Crabtree involved in any way, shape, or form for you to do part of your due diligence to see if this young man could fit into your program?
Well, we spent time talking with everybody that had been associated with him, or a teammate of his, or a coach with him, and all those types of things. So we spent plenty of time going through the process of determining whether there was a good fit, and felt like it was a great fit for us. Adding him to our football team and making him part of the Raider family was something that we were excited about.
And then the I guess support system around him. You have is there a specific Aldon Smith plan, or are you just relying on all those goats that you have on your defensive staff, to say the least?
No, it's a lot. It's a lot of structure that we've put in place that was part of the deal. In talking with him and his representation and making sure that we were comfortable and they were comfortable exactly with how we would want to do things and provide the proper support.
Is there any specifics that you care to lend out? What are those things that you have in place?
No, Rich. As much as I like you, bud, we're not getting into that.
Okay, very good, and I appreciate that. How is Ken Norton doing? My first NFL Total Access sidekick from 12 years ago, your defensive coordinator. How's he doing?
Yeah, Kenny's doing great. He brings great energy every day. He's a terrific coach. Does an excellent job relating with the players, bringing passion every day, and we love him. So no, we're fired up about Kenny, and obviously right now, after 2 weeks, we know we've got a lot of work to do on the defensive side, but that's the case, throughout our roster, throughout our football team. We've got a lot of growth in front of us, a lot of opportunity to prepare and to become a better football team as we go.
And then you got that gold jacket helping coach up the defensive backs. My buddy Rod Woodson.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
Rod's just a fine human being, a good coach, and a good man, and glad that we have him on board.
Is he the coolest guy on the planet, Jack? Because I think he might just be the coolest
Rod's
guy.
pretty cool. Rod's pretty cool. He's right up there with Rich Eisen.
Can I write that down? I think the recording equipment is. I appreciate you saying that, but I mean, I don't have the gold jacket. Rod, I mean, what he brings to this. Tell me what he brings to the staff. In all seriousness, what Rod Woodson helps for you.
Well,
Coach.
You're talking about a guy that's played at the highest level. And he's been around some great coaching. So what happens when we're impacted by great coaches, guys like Rod Rust. Both of us have had Rod Rust. Rod's a excellent coach from both of our pasts, and so you bring some of the associations that you've had, some of the lessons that you've learned over the years. So there's a wealth of knowledge there that we tap into, and he's a very calm guy. He's a very confident guy, and so we're glad to have him on our staff.
Yeah, Rod quoted Chuck Noll all the time when I was
That's
around
right.
him. I mean, the
Dick LeBeau, Chuck Noll. I mean, he's been around some really legendary coaches, and so it's obviously having that type of wisdom, having some of that guidance along the way, and now being able to share with other young players now and getting that opportunity, and the fact that he's still doing it. I mean, look, he's made plenty of money. He's very accomplished, but he has a passion for football. He loves it, and that's why he's doing what he's doing now, coaching.
And then offensively, Coach Del Rio, just cycling back there for a quick second, Latavius Murray, he is one big dude at the running back position. Do you see him as a 20, 25, even 30 carry guy when it's all said and done?
Yeah, if we do our thing, converting, moving the sticks, and do our thing up front for him, yeah, I do believe he's capable. So I think he's played really well to start the year. Last week in particular, he had some very impressive runs, and we're close to having bigger runs. So we're excited about the way it's tracking, but know there's a lot of work in front of us. But I do like the way he started the year.
Right, and in terms of your just being there in the Bay Area, there's another team across the Bay that we all know that is technically being called the home team for the Super Bowl and host team for the Super Bowl. Is there any rivalry that you feel with the 49ers, Coach, at all?
Not really. I've always been a Raiders guy. Grew up on the East Bay. Never really, always kind of acknowledged when they had good teams. Yeah, good, congratulations. But I've always been about, the Raiders and the silver and black. So more taking pride in what we're doing and less so worried about, what they're doing.
And what about the grounds crew? A lot of people talking about that 50-yard line not being gold right now, Coach. Have you noticed that there for the Raiders?
Was it silver and black? What color is it?
No, it's supposed to be gold. Everyone's doing it for the NFL this year for the 50th anniversary, and for some reason the Raiders are not doing that.
Maybe gold doesn't look good with silver and black.
Maybe that's the case. What's the deal with your suit? Have you gone there yet?
No, only when I go to dinner with my wife.
No, come on, you got to get that suit back on the sideline. I mean, don't tell me you've given that up. Have you given that up?
No, actually, at some point, I may do a tribute to John Madden. And bring out the white. The white rolled up sleeves with the tie flapping in the wind.
Yes.
Got to make sure it's a windy day, though.
You got to make sure let's put it this way: 15 miles per hour or more. Bust that out, and then we got to figure out. I don't know how to work it in there, but yes, and you're barking at the refs, and the tie is flapping.
Right.
I wholeheartedly endorse that, Coach. I really do.
Beautiful.
Hey, look, thanks for calling in. I'd say hi to Rod and Kenny for me, and everybody else up there, and I appreciate you calling into the program.
My pleasure, Rich. All right, we'll catch up down the road.
You got it. That's Jack Del Rio, head coach of the Oakland Raiders, joining me here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.